Hey, what's up YouTube? So today we're going to do a little bit of comparison video, and I have two Surrons. If you follow me, you know I have two different Surrons here. I have the completely stock, bone stock Surron here. Nothing been done other than grips. And then over here I have the Surron, the KO motor. That's just the controller. The other things I've done on this bike are foot pegs, handlebars, grips, bash guard, the Shinko rear, the display relocation to the middle here. So other than that, the battery and the motor are still stock sprocket. So basically what we're doing is a comparison of a takeoff speed. We're gonna go down this road, we're gonna pick a couple of points, and then I'll do some timing in Premiere to get an exact number. Just so you know, on this bike already, I've been playing with it. I should have already released the KO Moto installation video that I did. I've worked with the guys. I knew that they were still working out some of the stuff with some throttle delay. If you hit 100% on a throttle, it has a slight 100 to 200 millisecond delay of cutting off the throttle, which makes wheeling suck. So until that's fixed, I'm not really wheeling anymore. But the bike has a setting inside there app where you can configure the speed, the display. I've mapped it with my GPS, and on both bikes actually, taking my phone, GPS, and a speedometer out, and this one now is matching perfectly. On this one, it'll say you're doing 45, you're actually doing like 41. If you're doing 49, you're probably doing 45. This one I've got up to 50 on both the speed display and on the phone's GPS. This one is set up to be perfect as far as the speed indicator, and this one not so much. So we're not really paying attention to display because that wouldn't be fair. This one was going to say it's going faster than it is. We're just going to do a time from a launch point down here. We're going to cruise it down. We're going to use this manhole in the cover as the stopping point. So as soon as I hit that, that will be the end. And down here, I'll have a start point. So we'll go ahead and get going. All right, we're starting on the stock bike. I had topped off both batteries. They're at 100%. I'm going to get over here so I can see if cars are coming. This is the line. Put the tire right down in there. We've already got a car coming. 3, 2, 1, go. And stop. Now this bike without that Shinko tire has a good launch. Like, it feels really good. 3, 2, 1, go. No. I feel like this might not even be fair because this one just seems to have more torque because of that smaller tire in the back. That less rotational weight makes a huge difference. It's definitely not slowing me down that way. 3, 2, 1, go. So you can customize everything about the KO, including the power delivery at whatever RPM you want. So you can just like say, I want 100 from 0 to 500 RPM, and that's crazy jumpy. And honestly, I think the stock setup has a lot of that, but what I have set up is like the lower RPMs. I have 70, and then it climbs up to 100 at like 2000. 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah, the torque on this bike right now has a lot more, like at this 15 mile an hour range than the stock. Like, it definitely has that jump up and go, but definitely not maybe as much on the low end. Also to note, I tripped the BMS right there not because of pulling too much power, because of putting too much power back into the battery. I'm at 100%, and that regen is actually, I have it turned up pretty hard, so it tripped the BMS and shut the bike off. All right, let's go again. This time I won't use regen on no braking. We'll see if I can handle that. 3, 2, 1, go. is my situation. I have this KO controller. I ordered it. I have a buddy that has one, and I figured, you know, why not? I've talked about it in other videos. Get the most upgrade potential with this controller, I feel, just because you can do so much with it. It doesn't need all this other stuff. You don't need the motor. You don't need the battery necessarily. And I even have a bypass kit. I'm not going to use it. I'm doing some testing with the stock stuff. 3, 2, 1, go. We're going to get an idea, and if I have to guess before I even look at the numbers, I'm going to guess that the stock actually won that race, just because that tire is half the weight as this other tire, and I have felt that off the line rotational mass difference. So if you're talking about tires and getting something different than the stock tires, I feel like getting a sprocket, if you're going to stay stock, I feel like getting a sprocket is almost a must if you're going to get a heavier tire in the rear. That rotational mass makes a huge difference on the amount of torque that you're getting off the line, or even low end in that matter. That slows it way down. I mean, it's still great, and I've been riding this bike doing a lot with that tire on, and it works fine, but it's a noticeable difference. Well, I kind of feel like we should maybe increase the torque real quick and do one pull with a higher setting. So here on this display, you can see all these different settings, and if I come over here to my motor parameters, you can see at 500 I'm giving it 75. We're just gonna boost this up 75, 78, 90. Yeah, let's just go 90, 95, 100. Throttle is very twitchy when you have that 100% out of the gate. I'm not going to do 100 right out of the gate, but this should definitely make an improvement. 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright guys, here's your results. Obviously the KO is beating it pretty good, and with that higher percentage of power low end, we're down in the 7s now, so definitely a big difference here. I didn't expect it. I thought the stock bike felt quicker because of that rotational mass difference on the tire. Just keep that in mind. What that would be like even on the KO bike if it had the stock tire would be a difference.